Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about a conversation of a psychological, mental health, emotional health paradigm. We do that as often as we can, usually several times per week. We do that for your listening pleasure, and we try to ultimately get to a healthy space as far as that's concerned. This is Life Lessons 217. We continue to do the Life Lessons series just so that you can make the most of your life in the most meaningful way possible. And we begin to do that for you as often as we can. When you are looking for coaching, life, relationship, habit change, business, whatever point in entrepreneurial or whatever point in between, would love if you gave Golden Opportunities a chance to be of benefit to you. Please feel free to reach out at PO Perception on Twitter or in the About Me section of this YouTube page. Either one will get you in touch with me or a member of my team, and we can move from there. The first thing is remember not to underestimate yourself. You can do more than you believe possible. A lot of times people underestimate themselves because they've been in toxic situations that cause them to make themselves smaller than they need to be, and sometimes that can become super, super negative, especially if you don't want to be small. You have big goals, big dreams, but you lose yourself because other people haven't supported you in the way you needed, or you don't have a manageable action plan or a map to get where you need to be. When you begin to identify the ways that you can, see yourself in a more positive light, but also just a proper light, meaning balanced of neutrality, where you're not looking at yourself too negatively, but you're not putting too much credit on yourself, so that you end up looking at yourself in a way that is going to leave you wide open to ridicule and or leave you wide open to overestimation, and then you've defeated yourself in a different way. The next is realize and recognize that it's necessary to keep moving. Understand that keeping moving is one of the most important things you can do. Sometimes life gets hard, and when it does, the most common tendency, the most basic tendency, is to look at the nature of identifying the ways that we're getting ourselves mentally and emotionally stuck. And so getting yourself unstuck is a promise that you should make to yourself for your own benefit. That is to look at yourself and say, hey, I need to be better about this. I need to know how to step forward into a healthier way of being, and also focus on my goals to a greater degree. Goals are important. Having short-term, long-term, and medium-term goals are important. Also having goals in every area of your life, from the spiritual or higher self area to business goals, financial goals, relational goals, self-actualization goals. Having those goals is the difference between getting stuck with something that you don't like, that you're not working towards getting yourself out of, and always having something you could be working on to improve the quality of your life. Focus also on what you're becoming. The act of becoming is one of the things that we as human beings have constant control over. Knowing what you're becoming, asking people to help you be accountable to what you desire to become, and identifying the ways in which you can ultimately keep yourself in a positive mindset towards reaching your goals and becoming something different. Forgiving yourself on a consistent basis is also important. Forgiving others is important too. Remember, everyone's dealing with their own stuff. Many times people are dealing with their own trauma. They don't necessarily understand your version of what needs you may have, and communicating your needs might be something you're weak at and you could use some extra help on, or you could use a different way to do. And so when you are willing to admit that, hey, I need to communicate my needs differently, I need to be a person who is more accessible and aware of what needs I might have to communicate, or the things that I take for granted or expect other people to do for me without asking, it can be super valuable and especially helpful when people aren't necessarily aware of their for lack of a better point, trigger points, and knowing how to do that, and doing that in a meaningful way is one of the most important things we can do for ourselves and for the future. So it's important that we at least look at these things. I encourage you, keep your feet on the ground and your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.